I think Harry's a f***ing I do.
Kelly Osbourne has reached her limit with Prince Harry. The TV personality weighed in on the Duke of Sussex and his ongoing drama while joining the I've Had It podcast recently, sharing why she has no sympathy for Harry's public and personal challenges.
I think he's a f***ing he's a whining, whinging, complaining, woe is me, I'm the only one that's ever had mental problems. Like, my life was so hard. Everybody's f***ing life is hard.
Yeah,
you were the prince of a goddamn country who dressed up as a f***ing Nazi, and now you're trying to come back as the Pope? Suck it.
Harry has apologized for the infamous Nazi costume he wore to a party in the 2000s, calling it, quote, one of the biggest mistakes of his life. The dad of two has yet to weigh in on Kelly's rant as of Tuesday. Fans appear divided over the Project Runway Junior judge's searing comments, with some applauding her on the podcast's Instagram page, while others noted that Kelly is also a child of privilege and didn't acknowledge Harry's continued grief over his mother, Princess Diana's tragic death. And when it comes to the Duke's father, King Charles, Kelly had a different take and explained why she's willing to give His Majesty and wife Queen Camilla a chance to lead the monarchy.
It's new, it's different. Let them try it out, see what they can make of it. Definitely King Charles. I don't know much about Camilla. I always thought she would remain queen consort. It's weird that she's queen.
Kelly's candid remarks follow a flurry of news surrounding Harry and wife Meghan Markle, from the couple's paparazzi incident in New York City to Harry's emotional testimony in his tabloid phone hacking case. Most recently, the Duke and Duchess confirmed that they had parted ways with Spotify 3 years after inking a lucrative podcasting deal with the company. The pair has had a well-documented rift with the rest of Harry's family since their decision to step down as senior working royals and focus on building a new life in California with their children. They since released a Netflix documentary about the move, and Harry reflected on his royal upbringing in the explosive memoir, Spare. He and Meghan last visited the UK together for Queen Elizabeth's funeral in September and were reportedly not invited to Charles and Camilla's first Trooping the Color as monarchs this month. But Harry did attend his father's coronation solo in May, and DailyMail.com's Charlie Langston joined Access Hollywood to break down all the inside details about the visit.
His trip was incredibly quick. We are talking less than 29 hours in the UK. It really was a fly-in, fly-out situation. Interestingly, he flew commercial, so he's maybe starting to take on board all of that criticism about his decision to fly in private jets. He flew on American Airlines over to the UK, flew on British Airways back from the UK. He landed in LA at about 6:30 p.m. So Archie may not have been prepared to party through the night. Obviously, he's only 4 years old. But Harry did make it back in time to spend a good period with his son on his birthday weekend, which we know was incredibly important to the Duke of Sussex.
And when Harry was in town, who did he talk to?
Well, publicly, Harry was seen chatting with Beatrice, Eugenie, their husbands. He also had a bit of a joke with the Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby. But on the whole, we really didn't see Harry interacting a huge amount with his immediate family. There were no public interactions with William and Kate, nothing with Charles. I mean, Harry pretty much arrived for the ceremony, went into the Abbey with Eugenie and Beatrice, and then left straight after. There wasn't any time for him to hang out with his family. Now, one thing that we know Charles was a bit disappointed by was Harry's decision to skip the private luncheon that took place after that wonderful Buckingham Palace balcony moment. We do know that Harry was extended an invitation, that he was asked to stay and attend, but he chose to go back to LA so that he could be there with his family for Archie's birthday. And we know that the other members of the royal family were a bit let down by that, although a few royal aides may have been breathing a big sigh of relief because it meant that the kind of, possibility of more controversy had been taken away.
Do you think it was hard for him to avoid talking to William, or were they like two ships passing in the night?
Given how busy the day was, there really wasn't a huge amount of opportunity for any awkward interaction. As we saw, Harry was seated in the third row behind Anne's enormous feathered hat, and William and Kate were right up there at the front, in on all the action. William had a wonderful moment during the coronation where he pledged his loyalty to his father. I think that must have been quite hard for Harry to watch, knowing that that is a role that he too was supposed to have taken on. But on the whole, there weren't any private gatherings before that Buckingham Palace luncheon that Harry chose to skip. So there wasn't really an opportunity for anyone to have a private conversation because all efforts, at least as far as Kate, William, the rest of the royal family were concerned, were focused entirely on ensuring that the coronation went off without a hitch. So during that luncheon that I spoke of at Buckingham Palace, it was a very private, intimate event, an opportunity for Charles and Camilla to celebrate and toast the day's proceedings with their nearest and dearest. The guest list was restricted to friends, very tight-knit friends, and family. Harry was indeed supposed to be there. He chose not to attend, but King Charles still found a way to pay tribute to his missing son. He did a toast in which he honored his grandchildren, including George, Charlotte, and Louis, who obviously were all at the coronation, but he also toasted to his grandchildren who were not there, and he wished Archie a very happy birthday, interestingly adding the line, wherever he may be, which suggests that Charles didn't even know how Meghan and Harry were planning to celebrate Archie's birthday this weekend, which just gives you another indication of how big that rift between them has become.